You're an adult who thought that by now relationships would just be easier, whether those are professional relationships in the workplace, friendships, or a romantic relationship, maybe even familial relationships. You're exasperated, confused, and pretty annoyed that you're still running into relational hurdles. My name is Stephanie Corpel. I am the founder and CEO of Marble Wellness, which is a private practice, mental health counseling practice in the Baldwin area of St. Louis, Missouri. And I want to talk to you today about childhood trauma and how it affects adult relationships. Before we dive in, I want to address something else, which is I kind of feel like I look like I work at the zoo. Yeah, I love the zoo. I have no problem with that, but looking at myself on the computer just made me wonder about that. Anyway, back to the topic. Childhood wounds can come from a variety of places, and sometimes they can be surprising places. You might not remember your childhood as one that has trauma, and that's okay. There are different types of trauma. In therapy, a lot of times we call it big T trauma or small T trauma. And you might not have trauma, but you might have some childhood wounds, and those still show up in adult relationships. You know that this is happening if you're experiencing a lot of cycles, right? If you notice patterns about feeling anxious about having hard conversations, feeling avoidant about having hard conversations, maybe starting to get too close to people and not feeling comfortable with that level of intimacy. So you remove yourself from those relationships. The point is, these patterns can look a lot of different ways and show up, like I mentioned earlier, across a variety of types of relationships. What happens from these childhood wounds is things just get in us, right? So part of it is brain health, brain development. Synapses are built a certain way, patterns are created that then become automatic. So you may feel like your behavior is out of control, even though your adult self is really confused by that logic because you feel pretty in control most of the time as an adult. You feel like you know what you should do, but you might get emotionally triggered in a certain way and have a verbal or emotional reaction that you don't like, you don't understand because a different part of you wants to react differently. These are just all the old wounds, the childhood wounds coming out in adult relationships. What else I want to talk to you about is how therapy can help that. So those dots can sometimes be hard to put together. Patterns can sometimes be hard to detect when we're so close to the pattern. And if it's a life you've lived, you might be too close to really see it. There may also be understanding of brain development and brain health that a therapist may be able to use, given their educational background, that can help you understand these patterns, or how something that might have seemed pretty harmless from 0 to 5, maybe moving a lot, or the loss of someone significant, how that may have changed your trajectory of development just enough that you arrived in this different place. Therapy can also help you get through the discomfort of breaking those patterns, because we all know what it's like to try to make a new habit. So for some of us it's around fitness or eating or going to bed earlier, all sorts of things. New habits are hard, and when there are new habits around emotional reactions and behavioral outcomes, those can be particularly frustrating because we want it badly, but it's really hard. So a therapist can help you with that discomfort, sustaining the frustrations and confusions as you break old habits to begin new ones, and then also give you a lot of tools, techniques, wording, green flags for building those new patterns. Once you build those new patterns, they can also help you with new relationships. They'll help you understand how to have people from your life from before catch up to the new you. They'll help you with some relationship breakups that might need to happen because people who knew the old version of you might not be so supportive of the new version of you. And they'll just be there through this really multi-layered dynamic process. If this sounds hard, it is because it is. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But what I can tell you is what comes out on the other side is something so beautiful, so worthy, something that will make you so proud of yourself that I don't want anyone to not do that because the fear gets in the way. Your therapist will also help you build skills to overcome that fear, right? They'll help you with anxiety management tools. They'll help you just build some emotional courage. And this is the work that we do so well at Marble Wellness. I love this journey with clients. It's giving me a little bit of goosebumps right now to even think about it. But when people come out on the other side of really addressing those childhood wounds, if it is trauma, working through it, they are so amazed and often say, my favorite thing to hear from a client, which is, I knew I could feel better. I never knew I could feel this good. My team and I at Marble Wellness would love to help you make that statement. So please feel free to reach out to us. We'll get you started this week or next week. We're here for you and we want to get you on that path. Go to our website, www.marblewellness.com, and reach out to us via our contact form on there, or just pick up the phone right now and call us at 636-234-3052, and we'll get you set up and started on that path of living a calmer, happier, and more fulfilled life. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.